Hey, my name is Kay, and I've got something to say. I like the lighting, it's pretty. You're pretty. Oh, let's fluff out the hair real quick. Alrighty, we're back. In today's video, we will be discussing and dissecting what I like to call the war on women. I imagine this will be a multi-part series, saying as a consistent layer of mankind is oppressing women. So, yeah, let's get into it. Just to make my intentions clear, this video is meant to shine a huge ass light on things that I've heard, things that I've heard about other women, things that I've heard women say about the situations that they have been put in or that other women have been put in. Just all different types of perspectives, and genuinely I'm speaking from my own experience. I can't help that. So we'll be scratching the surface of the many things that come with the female experience. I was gonna say in America, but worldwide, throughout every place that's through. The niggas that we break bread with on a daily basis, like, this is getting to their mind, like into their minds. It's the shame, the humiliation, the secondhand embarrassment, opening up the floor, sexual assault and harassment, opening up the floor to a discussion about whether you're attractive enough to even experience that situation. It's disgusting. So yeah, I don't know, strap in, let's see what happens. So today's discussion will be divided into 4 different subcategories. First one being about me, things that I've heard or have been said directly to me, things that I've directly experienced that, believe it or not, genuinely, all of them happened. Second category, number 2, will be in general. This section is really dedicated to all the women that think that this couldn't happen to them, thinking that their insecurities will prevent them from experiencing certain situations or being talked to in a certain way. Women that feel like they are respected based on certain things, and that there are certain people who are so close to them that they could just never do this. Ways that you as a woman never thought that you'd be talked about. Not never, because you ain't stupid, you know what's going on. So just shining a light on things that genuinely it's not just me, like, I be paying attention, shit go on. So number 3, the category will be men's reaction. So basically, how have I observed different groups of men and different men in general who, or individually, who have expressed their thoughts and opinions about these situations, whether they are friends of people who have said certain things, whether the people who have said certain things, whoever it is. Or maybe if you got that in your family, or you grew up with that environment, some shit like that. Men's reactions to the uncomfortable situations that women are put in, whether it's in their presence or not. Okay. And the 4th section is women's reactions and opinions to certain situations that they've been put in, or that other women around them have been put in. And really just kind of getting to the bottom of that, whether it's internalized misogyny or down to the soul. I just, no sympathy, no I'm almost like indoctrinated to feel this way. So we shall see. I want us all to talk about it. This is not just me and my opinion. Like, okay. It is. But I really don't want it to be like that. I want this to open up a discussion, because perspective is power. You know what I'm saying? As long as I want to be in touch with the world and how people are thinking. So, and express my opinions freely. Everybody has a perspective that can be shared, and it's on you to do with it what you will. I like to learn from that shit, and that's just personally what I intend to do. So please open up this discussion, whether you agree or disagree. Talk about it. I at least read it, and we'll go from there. Alrighty. So, the war on women. Some of these I've personally never told anybody, because it is so fucking embarrassing. It is so disgusting to know that like, this nigga done said the worst thing, not even the worst thing I've ever heard, but it's something so embarrassing about sharing your experiences of sexual harassment and or just nasty shit. Like, just number one, okay, it was a dude that basically, I was at my Walmart and they needed people to go over to one in Mississippi. So I went over to the one in Mississippi and I met this dude who actually worked at my Walmart. Again, 18, maybe 19. I'm 21. We hit it off, just talking, co-workers. And he was the only person I knew there. So he had been working there a minute. So he had the information I needed. So we were just cool. So eventually, as time went on, when I would see him around my store when I came back, or our store, we would like, hey, how you doing? Hug real quick. Nothing like that. Nothing flirtatious. So here come out of nowhere one day, I'm seeing him. This is the last time I ever saw him. Hope you're doing okay. But so one day down the line, I saw him as I was leaving for break. He was coming in. So I was like, how you doing? He's like, hey, you doing good? I was like, yeah, I'm doing good. What's up? And he was like, I'm straight, and I was like, all right, cool. Went to give him a hug. He was like, damn, trying to do this out here? And I was like, I mean, I guess. And he was like, damn, like, nah, like, follow, like, come here, like, we can go back here behind the clothes section. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, this nigga manager watching somewhere. I'm like, okay. He like, we should, we can go back here. And we walk to the clothes aisle, like right behind us. We walk over to the clothes aisle by the dressing room. And I gave him a hug, and he was like, and I gave him a hug, like a fucking coworker hug. I ain't know what was gonna happen. I'm like, I gave him a hug. He like, damn, could let me grab that ass or something. Damn, you could have let me grab that ass or something. Damn, you could have let me grab that ass or something. Moving on. Right now, I was 17. This nigga was 27. From this point on, 27 is not the age for me. I can't fuck with a nigga. Can't fuck with a nigga 27. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I'm 22 years old. Can't do it. I can't do it. I left this job on December 5th, 2020, the day after I turned 18, because of this one interaction right here that told me everything I needed to know. This 27-year-old, we started working together. He was the general manager's son. And he had started working there. He put his bid in. I'm gonna say, like my dad would say, he put his bid in. And he was genuinely like, I didn't know it at the time, but I kind of suspected it, like, oh, this, like, he likes me. But, or I like, he's cute, I like him. And when we would just have casual conversation, and eventually he asked for my number. So I was like, oh my god, like I told my roommate, I told my roommate at the time, and we were just like, damn, like, I had a little crush on him or whatever. So we started texting, and shit started getting feelings started getting reciprocated. And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, I am a kid. I noticed, and I said that because, like, shit was getting romantic. And I'm like dropping me off birthday presents and not sexual. She was just getting, it was getting a little, and I could tell that, oh, I'm biting off more than I could chew. This is a little icky. So I'm telling him one day, you know, he said something that kind of crossed the line, and I told him, I ain't trying to get you fucked up. I ain't telling, you know, I wasn't trying to get him in no serious situation that he didn't know about. So I told him, I was like, you know, I texted him one day. I was like, hey, you know how old I am, right? And can you guess what he said? What this 27-year-old man said? He said, yeah, and I know you got a birthday coming up. I'm currently studying massage therapy, and a nigga who used to be in my class, we have to, of course, practice on each other. And as I was giving him, you know, he would do he was 34 years old at the time, 6 children. As you know, we gotta practice on each other, do checkups, and as I'm practicing on my massage for this man, will you believe that he licked me? Would you believe that? Would you believe that he licked me? Licked me. To which I, you know, looked at him like what the fuck? And he winked at me. Mind you, man been convulsing on the table this entire time. I'm talking about shaking like a motherfucking stripper. This man has been breathing hard and moaning and shaking as I'm on the table. When the teacher came over here, you know, she was there, and he started touching himself. To which she pulled me to the side and said, hey, bro. She said, hey, bro, what you doing? Got him up out of there, you know. And she told me, you know, in the real world, don't let that slide. He had an excuse, you know. Because we can't shame anyone. Because men have natural reactions to certain things. So I can't really shame you for certain reactions that you really genuinely can't control. With that being said, you know what's up. If I'm telling this story, you know what time he was on, and I do too, so I don't want to hear it. But I confronted him after, you know, asked him, so what's up? You know, you licked me. And he like, I'm word for word, he said that I must have been too close to his hand, you know, while he was licking his lips. I said, okay, so it's my fault you licked me. He like, no, I'm not saying that. You know, I apologize. It won't happen again. I'm like, cool. Next, so when I was at the dentist, the nigga who was working there, he was a 30-year-old Marine, with a wife. As he was walking into the room after he had given me my initial like evaluation or whatever, he came back into the room. He had pulled my shirt down in the back to look at my tattoos and asked me what there was something up, and asked me what they meant. Like he pulled my shirt down. So that's what happened. Next. Okay, so at a previous job, I was a receptionist, or I was a hostess, and this man, the old white dude, he came in, and throughout the interaction, he was looking at me like this. And, you know, I'm from Tennessee. This isn't a rare encounter. So after our transaction, he told me word for word verbatim. He said, I've never been with a color before, but I take you. You heard it right. Not a colored girl, not a woman, not a black woman, not a Negro. Next, when I was working at Walmart, a fellow employee and I were discussing who had it worse, which gender had it worse, and when it comes to hormones and emotions and bodily changes and stuff like that. And I said that women have it worse, to which he responded, I'm not gonna waste my time on an ignorant bitch. Like, alright. So I was like, what'd you say? He talking about, yeah, I called you a bitch, now what? I said, alright. Alright. And as I'm steadily thinking, he come up to me talking about, I'm sorry for calling you a bitch. It won't happen again. I said, I know it won't. And he was like, are you still gonna talk to me? And I said, walk away. Just go on and go. And that's how that went. At my previous job, this man needed help at the ACM. And I told him, hey, this one not working, you might want to go to that one over there. And he said, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. He went to hug me. I hugged him from the side. And tell me why this nigga pulled me in and sniffed the absolute fuck out of me. I'm talking about sniffed the hell out of me. Wasn't expecting that at all. So that happened. I'm talking about sniffed the fuck out of me. I had to push him off of me. Second nigga at that same job. There was a second nigga at that same job who pulled me into a hug and kissed my neck. Different nigga, same job. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I don't know what's wrong with them. I can't comprehend it. I don't understand. And I pray to God I never will. I don't get it. I really don't. Y'all some nasty ass motherfuckers. Like, y'all some nasty niggas. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't get it. And this is just, again, scratching the surface. This is just these are just things that I can't remember. These are just things that, again, and all of this shit is word for word, because I like to write this shit down and really contemplate and think about it, because this don't go nowhere. This in my brain forever. Fuck you talking about. You think I'm gonna forget how the enemy thinks of me? You lying. So, and this isn't, all of these things aren't to say that I'm the finest thing walking, because for some reason sexual harassment and the frequency in which it happens can be interpreted as, oh, she just thinks she all that. Again, the comprehension, I don't understand it. So very, very lame. Very lame. So this brings us to, in general, because in the same way that sexual harassment and things like that can make you feel, can be seen as like, oh, she just thinks she's all that. Many women and people in general can interpret it as like, damn, why they don't hit on me? Why they don't do this? Which is a damaging mindset within itself, and that can lead men and people to believe that sexual harassment is really a good thing. Getting catcalled is like something that women really appreciate, because it shows that, at the end of the day, you gotta appreciate that, because that just means you cute for real. Men will rape dead bodies, children, and animals. It's not a compliment. Come on now. It really don't have nothing to do with the entity, with the person that is experiencing these things. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that now. Oof, this is a lot of Walmart. I heard a lot of this within those four walls. So I worked as basically stocking and unloading. So unloading trucks, it's gonna be niggas galore, and that's just what it was. So a lot of them felt they could speak freely to a certain extent. And again, I'm a fan of getting many perspectives about the same topics. I know that certain things I can't be swayed, and it's millions of people who feel the exact same way about their beliefs. So it's a learning opportunity for me, and that created a foundation for people to be comfortable talking to me. So I don't want you to, so that's why I heard certain things, because some of this shit sound like, why the fuck would they say that if you're in the room? This is not hearsay. Again, wrote it down through my own ears. Okay, so when I was working there, there was a dude right there, and he know who he is. He know who he is for real. We gonna call him BB Gun. So BB Gun once said that he asked, why y'all don't like complimenting women? It gets you further faster. Same man was talking to this dude who had a brother who used to work here with BB Gun. So BB Gun and the dude at work were talking about, his brother, and just catching him up on what he been doing in college. And the young dude about that he has one girlfriend. So BB Gun says, both black men, BB Gun says, you telling me he in Colorado with the snowiest of snow bunnies, and he only got one girlfriend? That's exactly what he said. And young dude, he the type of dude, he do anything to fit in. He told my son, hey, you gotta keep a main one. To which BB Gun responded rather quickly, if I have 10 toilets, I don't have a main one. I'm gonna shit wherever I want to at the time. You didn't hear me? If I have 10 toilets, I don't have a main one. I'm gonna shit wherever I want to at the time. Same nigga, BB Gun. After hearing so many no's, I'm gonna stop asking and start telling her, we're about to do this. Same nigga, BB Gun. They think they can control you with the word no. Same nigga, BB Gun. I should have got me an Asian before I got married, just to try it out. Same nigga, BB Gun. Damn, she redacted. We're gonna call her Skylight. Damn, Skylight's gone, huh? I didn't even have time to sexually harass her today. The nigga that he was talking to about the brother who went to college, we were talking. He's from Nigeria, actually, and he had moved to America probably about maybe 4 to 6 years before this. He said he let it slip that to approach white women, I have to be nicer. And so took it for what it is. What the fuck I'm supposed to do? Argue? That ain't my job. Put in the dome. Take it on next time. Alright, so these last two I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. They're just things that I've heard, whether it be online or in person, that men have said about instances like these. One that sticks out to me the most was from a family member. So when I was working at the job in which that nigga sniffed me, they were really intense about like straighten your hair. Like, you would look really good if you had straightened hair. Like, they were kind of big on that. So when I eventually departed from that job, I was told by a family member to shut the fuck up and take it. He said that I got too comfortable trying to change the system and it's over. Find something else. I need to stop trying to argue with management so early on. This keeps happening to me. The sexual harassment. So at a point, I have to accept it. He said this isn't him trying to tell me he told me so, but that he saw it coming. So just in case there are any women or little girls or little boys or grown men who, so sorry, or non-binary people who are going through certain situations in which you feel so uncomfortable about bringing up how a person has made you feel, or you blame yourself for situations that should have never happened to you but you've been involved in, big or small. If you're hearing this and this touched your heart a little bit because you've heard something similar or you felt the way that you can imagine this made me feel at the time, and I just want to say that's exactly what it is. It's bullshit, and I can't even take it to heart because that's how you feel. But to accept that would be to blame others for being in the predicaments that they're in, and I'm straight. We don't gotta do all that. So, and to wrap it up a bit, we're gonna go over women's reactions that I've heard to sexual harassment cases or sexual assault, or just instances that women have been in, women who they genuinely hold no sympathy for. When I was reporting a situation, that situation where my coworker called me a bitch on multiple occasions, when I reported that to the general manager of my store, she told me that some men are just like that. Now what the fuck is you talking about? Some men are just like that. That's insane. The second experience that I had was another member of the family, very close, who told me I had experienced the stalker situation when I was working at Walmart, and I was told by my family member that dressed like that, what did you expect? Now if you're wondering what I could have been wearing to provoke such behavior, fuck you. That doesn't matter. Remember corpses and animals and children getting raped every day. It's not about me. So yeah, but again, I'm in my place of employment, not breaking any dress code, or at the very least any dress code that anyone else isn't breaking, men and women included. So let's not pretend this could have even been a case of what the fuck you got on, or trying to entice anybody. This is the same job where BB Gun was at. who am I trying to impress? Because there were 7 other men, I would say 9 who came and went when I was working there, and all of them had nothing to say but laughs and, oh God, bro, you ain't lying for like, damn, nothing, just silent agreements or loud agreements. That's all. Like, nothing to say, no retorts. I said one time that the men in my job were talking about just how women are and all of this, and I was like, now you know good and well the niggas. And my manager, who was there the whole time, or team lead, who was there the whole time, didn't even let me finish talking about something. We not even gonna get into that because that's gonna give me a headache. It can't even stand an opposing opinion. Getting all mad. I've had 3 niggas try to fight me. Like, not try. Step up mad, huffing and puffing because I disagree with them. I don't know what to tell you. I ain't finna break Vanderfold. I don't know what to tell you, humanitarian. Like, it's simple as that. But they be getting mad, y'all. They be getting so mad. They be getting mad. This, like I said, it's a small little one too. I feel like there's gonna be 1 million of these. So tune in soon for the war on women, but that won't be the next video that I drop, most likely. Part 2 won't be the next video that I drop, but like I said, drop some in the comments and I won't have any other choice. So I'll see y'all soon, and like I said, thank you so much. I love you. See you soon. Okay.